speak. House of Consciousness, Brother Sinetta, Brother Big Man Production. Today is March 22nd, 2004. This is going to be a lecture dealing with the hidden history of free.
The mass majority of them don't know anything about the ceremonies and the rituals in which that they go through. So the thing is that Yahuwah, other name is Yahweh. And the Hu also becomes the feminine Ha. And you come to find out that Yahweh within the book of Genesis was actually a name for Eve. That her Hebrew name, Eve's Hebrew name was Hawa. Was Hawa. And Hawa means the mother of all living things. The mother of all living things. So the mother always been, you know what I'm saying, a knowledge. However, European, because of his hatred for the feminine principle, you know what I'm saying? And see, the reason why I say this is natural. He has to have a fear of the feminine principle. Because he has a calcified pineal gland. That feminine principle, which is called the Kundalini energy or the serpentine fire, can't raise up within him because of that pineal gland being calcified. Because, you know, he would get into what would happen if he did. What if he did? Let's see it.
Combustion?
What we call spontaneous mankind combustion. Because ain't no unit catching fire. But did you notice, they ain't shit left on motherfucking ankles. The rest of this shit is damn burnt up polish of rubbish, ashes.
So that's a woman.
Yeah.
So-called woman.
Right, well, shit. Damn pale woman.
There you go.
Now she's a pale ash woman. Ashy ass pale woman. Whatever the case is. But as you see, ain't that shit, but ain't nothing but a motherfucking damn cast and ankles. And feet. Because she actually blew the fuck up. Internally. There's a fire which resides within each and every one of us, in which that is 6,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the Kundalini energy which resides at the base of the spine. When it raises up through the 7 chakras, you can give off as much highest temperatures as that of the sun, which is approximately 2 million degrees Fahrenheit. So, what you find out that the fire was contained within that area. She ain't even catch on. Nothing else caught on fire, except her ass. And as you see, she no longer has one. Not like she had one in the beginning. But that's all that's left. All right? So that's their fear of the feminine principle. They should fear it. Black folks, on the other hand, you have melanin. Melanin is the natural conductor for this energy because you are able to contain it, you're able to conduct it, you're able to manipulate it, you're able to move it, you're able to absorb it, you know what I'm saying, which is called Pranic energy or chi or ki energy, which actually becomes later on part of that same mechanism as the Kundalini energy, because the all-pervasive energy of the universe is the mother principle, this dark matter. So this is their fear of this energy. This is their fear, and they have a rightful fear of the feminine energy, as you can see. As you just seen, they have a rightful fear. You know, shit, I would fear too if they was going to try to destroy the hell out of me. But of course, you know, black folks always the ones who reverend their mother. You know, shit, first time we went on war, you know, what we saying? I like to thank my mama.
Right.
I like to, nigga, daddy don't never come up with the goddamn picture. I like to thank my mama. Thank you, mom. You know what I'm saying? Hell, you know, mom is equivalent to God, obviously, because, shoot, God usually might come maybe second. Mom is first. Right. And the reason for that is because you know that the Catholic Church worships Mary also. This is the reason why they worship Mary, or Hail Mary, who is known to them as the mother of God. So, hold up, God has a mother? because that is ancient Kemetic teachings. Ma'at represents the angel of justice, which is also later on in Hebrew, Michael, which is symbolic, who is known as the archangel of justice, the archangel of righteousness. Hold up, he got the same damn attributes as Ma'at. So that means he had to have been originally Ma'at. And you know Ma'at was the winged justice one. She was the one who had wings, as she stretched out. And what does the scripture say? The scriptures specifically speak about within Malachi. As a matter of fact, it speaks within Malachi, I think it's the 3rd chapter, when it speaks about the Son of Righteousness will come with healing in its wings. The Son of Righteousness will come with healing in its wings. So you come to find out that there's a symbol in which that they use, and what that signifies this. Hold on, give me 2 seconds here. Here we go. It's called the caduceus. As you see the wings represents the expansion of the mind. The 2 serpents represents that. The black serpent represents what's called the Ida. Or within the ancient Kemetic term would be Netheru. A nephet. And then the white serpent represents our sect. These 2 serpents going up this pole is actually called the staff of Moses.
Where would that be hidden? Where would that be hidden in Freemasonry?
It is within the teachings in which I'm getting ready to go over in a second. I'm just laying down the occult principles. So that when I get into the regular information, it's going to all coincide.
Yes, I'm going to write that question down.
Here we go. As a matter of fact, you ask, where is it? Well, here it is. This is it right here. These 3 pillars. This is Jasin, or just a Ja. As a matter of fact, I'll write it down. I don't know if I want to pull the book away. You know what I'm saying? But I want to make sure y'all get this picture. So I'll put it down. I'm going to pick it right back up.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. All right. All right. This is how it's spelled. It's Shin. And the other one on this side is Boaz. The one in the middle represents you as the initiate. So as you notice, there's 1, which is symbolic to who? What I just said, Jasin. And you see, there's a little one. You see it? That's symbolic to you. And how we know, because look what's over the top of the head. Over top of the head is the sun, which actually is symbolic to the pineal gland, in which the cavern, or what is called the 3rd ventricle, is also called the Brahma cave, becomes illuminated with this light as the Kundalini energy shoots up through the Sushumna, which is what's called the spinal column. Within the spinal column, there's 31 nerves. Those 2 serpents represents the 2 nerves, what is called the sacral nerves. That right there is at the base of your spine, where it starts at. This portion right here.
What's the point?
This portion right here is what is called your tailbone. As you see, it starts a little bit up above the tailbone area, which are 9 fused bones together, which is the tailbone. You have 33 along an 18-inch long spinal column. You have 33 vertebrae. And that's interesting because it's 18 inches long.
33 vertebrae.
Right, 18. What's the 18th degree in Freemasonry. We'll get to that in a second. But the 18th degree in Freemasonry is the Rosencrantz, but yet called the Rosicrucian.
So that's where that fit into.
There you go.
There you go.
And right about the 18th degree is the heart. So that means that right about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chakras or seals, or they call it 7 seals in the Bible. They also call it the 7 thunders, the 7 archangels, the 7 angels, the 7 wings, the 7 kings, the 7 heads of the Hydra or the red dragon. The number 7 is throughout the whole book of Revelations, and what it's talking about is the opening, which the book reveal, Revelation reveal means to open or to tap into. And so right here, you get, once again, wherever this meets, it produces what is called a nerve plexus. And these plexus, at the center of them, have concentrations of energy or light. All right? Come to find out that this right here is also called Jacob's ladder. So as you see right here in the book, you see the ladder in which that you ascend with. You want to ascend to heaven? Well, you must ascend up a long way. As you see, it's only bypassing what pillar? It's only bypassing the middle pillar. As you notice. So it must be the middle road in which that you must, what they call within Islam, the Sirat al-Mustaqim. The so-called Sirat al-Mustaqim, the straight and narrow path, is actually talking about the spinal column, in which that the Kundalini energy travels up through those 7 chakras. And as you see, this is called Jacob's ladder. Now, within the ancient Kemetic teachings, it's called the Djinn, the pillar of Osiris, representing the back of Osiris to the top chakra or energy centers of consciousness that are developed by all who are on the spiritual path, the straight and narrow path, the Sirat al-Mustaqim.
And that right there dates that back
over 52,000 years ago. This is over 52,000 years ago, as far as in conception.
And this is why they didn't want the black man and woman to read.
Bingo. Because once we come to God and say we once were,
that's right.
Their world is over. The devil's world is over. You know, it can only be one victory, one victor. That's it. And so it says, this is what is referred to as master the fire of the back and the light-giving fire. Now, let's notice that you get the word the jinn, and that's interesting there because we find that word within Islam as jinn.
That's right.
But you also found it within the Star Wars saga as Jedi.
That's right.
And what did the Jedi have? How did he save his people? He saved his people through a lightsaber.
Right.
Which was what? Multi-different colors. Colors of the rainbow. You've seen some Jedi with a red color, some with an orange, some with a yellow, some with green, blue, indigo, violet. Those are all symbolic to the 7 chakras and all symbolic to the 7 colors of the rainbow, which represents spiritual illumination. So, as you see here, they show you this on this picture. That picture has all of the 7 colors in which they show you spiritual illumination. And as you see, the sun rays coming out from it. Oh, once again, the sun rays is symbolic to Ra. Once again, as we said up on the board, which is part of Freemason Ra, or Free Sun Ra. As a matter of fact, the term Mason breaks down supposedly a child of the sun. A child of the sun. So they tell you right there where this word Re, or what they have as far as Masonry comes from, is that Re is actually Ra. Once again, it's all encoded. All right? And then, as you see right here, this is your Boreas. This is what is a dragon biting its tail. Now, this is the European version. They don't know shit about this, because what this is actually the Kundalini energy coming up at the crown chakra, and then, like a bow, coming back down towards the perineum, and then circulating back up over again. It's what's called a micro-orbit.
The dragon biting his tail, what that represents?
Check this out. The dragon is symbolic to the Kundalini energy itself, which is also called the red dragon in its most dense state, which is red energy. This red energy is at the base of the spinal column, which is right there at the bottom. So its color is red. So as it starts out from becoming awoken, it raises from red, changes to orange, all the way into violet, thus transmuting into, from a slowest state into the quickest or fastest state of light frequency. So then you come to find out, well, where did that concept come from? Oh shit, let's find out. Right off the ancient walls of Kemet. Right off the ancient walls. Let me get this little straight up for y'all here. There we go. And as you see, that is a serpent or a dragon biting his tail. But it's Heru inside of it though. This is fascinating. Heru is another form of food, Ra. So could this be the boat of Ra that so many of the teaching speaks about? It is. This boat of Ra is talking about your auric field in one instant, as well as also the term halo. Now, we will also break down the word aura. Oh shit, I mean, it's real simple. Damn, there it is. Ra. Okay? Then you break down the fact of the circle. The circle is also symbolic to what we call the wheel of light. Externally, it is the sun traveling through the 12 zodiac signs. Externally, it is the sun. This is why within Freemasonry, they study those who are the elite. They study astrology. Because the external information is just as good as the internal information. As a matter of fact, the external information is what reflects the internal desires. So they are able to tell our positions and our positioning as far as our mental apparatus through studying the stars. Because they know that as within, so without, as above, so below. Is that is how everything goes. So as you see, Heru sits in the center. So Heru is actually symbolic to the sun. And as you see, he's looking somewhat like a swastika in his position.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like a swastika in his position. It's like, you know, you get that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This is the Adolf Hitler version, is the perverted one, in which that is turned towards the left, which represents homosexuality. However, as you see, Heru is turned towards the right. So it goes in this manner. So he represents the 4 cardinal points. Like for example, in your Bible, it's not called this here is what's called a swastika. It's called a swastika. All right. The one that's turned towards the right is the swastika. Is as compared to the swastika. Now you know that's an ancient symbol. That symbol is found on the walls of ancient Kemet. That symbol is going throughout the world to Tibet, to the Buddhists have it in
Native
China.
Americans.
The Native Americans have it here. You know, so so this symbol has been used all around the world, and this symbol It's found in Freemasonry, but it actually is symbolic to the fact of astrology externally on this side. I'm going to get into the internal mechanism in a second. So you have right here Aquarius, which is symbolic to man. Right down from it, you have what is called Leo, which is the lion. And then here you have Taurus, which is the bull. Then here you have Scorpio, which is what? A scorpion, but it's a snake in its one form, and in another form, it is an eagle. So whenever you read about the 4 beasts mentioned within the book of Revelations, as well as also in the book of Daniel, it speaks about the fact of what? Y'all know?
Say that again?
The question again?
Within the book of Revelations, as well as also in the book of Daniel, it speaks about the 4 beasts, and it speaks about the symbols. Remember, it says, matter like Ezekiel speaks about it too, that he's seen a wheel within a wheel. A wheel within a wheel. This is talking about the our solar system spinning and through the 12 zodiac signs. So it's like this, counterclockwise, clockwise motion. It's like this. Wheel, I seen a wheel within a wheel. And then he said that he seen the 4 beasts that came. He said one had a head of a what? Man.
Okay.
He said another one had a head of was a bull. Then he said he seen another one with the head of a lion. He said he seen another one with the head of an eagle. This is all talking about astrology, or these 4 cardinal points. All right, that's what this is all symbolic to. So you find in your book the 4 Gospels of Jesus Christ. These 4 Gospels are these 4 so-called supposed people, you know what I'm saying, that never really existed. That was actually nothing more than the New Testament was actually written by Pisos, by Arius Pisos and his family, his sons. Arius Pisos was a Roman aristocrat, and which we're going to get a little bit into him in a few minutes. But you're going to find that, for example, you find that those 4 names coincide with these 4 positions. Like, for example, let's say Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Of course, within some books, based on the information that you read, they might vary, but it doesn't matter because it's all symbolic to 4. It was no actual people anyway, so it doesn't really matter which position that you put this in. But the science is that there's 4 angels in which that coincide with this also. You find out. Like, for example, Michael. Gabriel. Raphael. And Uriel. You also find the 4 sons of Heru, and that coincides with this. So, the 4 sons of Heru, all right? Amsat, Kiskuthenis, Kunkush, let me pronounce it right. Kesinishut. I'm happy. And also, the other one, I can't remember his name right now. But there's 4. And those 4 is part of this board too. Now that's big because centered in on the force in which that moves through these positions. So you add this, that, and that, and you got 12. You got 12. And these 12 was nothing more than this is nothing more than the zodiac, or the 12 constellations, right? And the sun that sits at the center of this. This is found right here in the exact same picture. And as you see the six-pointed star, the six-pointed star also represents the sun, the internal sun and the external sun. The external sun is actually the star constellation Sirius. It also represents, for the point that points upward, that represents heaven. For the one that points downward, that represents earth. So it's the merger of heaven and earth. All right? The one that, in a sense, it also represents the combining of masculine and feminine energies, male and female. All right? For example, the one in which that points down is supposed to be the male, the one in which points up, you know what I'm saying, is supposed to be the female. Because her organ goes upwards, while the man organ in its flaccid state hangs downwards. All right? So it's the combination of both energies. It's also the same symbol basically as the yin and yang principle. The yin and yang is nothing more than a 6 and 9. The lowest etheric state and the highest etheric state. All right? 6 represents ghost ether, as well 9 represents universal ether or energy.
Now, two fast questions. Do you think the average Hebrew walking up 125th Street knows what you just said? That's one question.
No.
And there were some people that told me in the past that that represents two pyramids upside down. Is there any truth to that?
Supposedly, there's a pyramid, there's a portion of the pyramids or some type of structure up under the Giza Plateau, which that, up under the Khufu, which is the largest pyramid, which is also called Cheops, which that supposedly has just as much volume as the one pointing up as it does pointing down. So in that sense, that could be a replica of that, you know, in that instant.
Now, the first question about the average brother walking on 25th Street, they're not teaching them in their schools?
They're not teaching nothing like this. What they teach, honestly, what they're teaching, because I've been there, done that, what they're teaching is nothing more than literal scriptures. Everything within the scriptures are literal. There's no allegorical explanation as far as they're concerned for any of the scriptures, and it should not be questioned. And if you do question it, then basically you're going outside of their belief system, and basically you're wrong, brother.
And you're a troublemaker.
Right, you're a troublemaker, and you get outcast, you get ostracized, and you get laughed at. So this is what happens. I've done had many debates with these brothers down in North Carolina. Matter of fact, one of the brothers that used to come to the class who actually knew metaphysics, he went back into the Hebrew Israelites. He went all the way at the Israelites. He went back, back into that sect. And it was cool, you know what I'm saying? But I was just trying to figure out what the hell for.
Yeah.
In that sense, you know what I'm saying? Because if you wanted a religion, I mean, sure, I could have designed with one. If you want to follow, if you want to follow somebody.
Now, get this.
You know what I'm saying? I got to but throw some information together and say, here, brother, go on out there and follow your guy.
I actually talked to a brother. He has slides, he uses his computer, and everything. I think his name is Brother Ocean. And he showed me a picture of a man that was supposed to be King James.
Yeah.
And he was telling me that King James was a black man.
Right. I got that same picture.
And I told him, even if he was...
Matter of fact, supposedly this King James looked like David Dinkins, who was the ex-mayor of New York.
Now, I told him, even if King James was a black man, from the history that I know, it didn't make any difference to us because from the history I know, he was a homosexual, a killer.
A drunkard.
So, what's your take on that?
Like you said, he was a homosexual, a drunkard. He molested children.
Killed his own mother.
Killed his own mother. You know what I'm saying? To ascend to the throne. Anyone who wished that questioned him, he had them murdered. He was very nasty and dirty. He never took baths. Wore the same clothing, you know what I'm saying, year round. When he ate, he wiped his hands on the damn dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so what that mean because he was black and white?
Right. I mean, really, this shit don't mean nothing to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But come to find out that King James was a Mason. And part of that society, he was part of that William Shakespearean society, in which that was actually founded by Francis Bacon, who was actually William Shakespeare. So you come to find out that according to Manly P. Hall, in his Secret Teachings of All Ages, he specifically overlaid the two pictures of William Shakespeare and Francis Bacon, and they look damn near identical. Right. So the science is that this is one and the same. So you go to Psalms 46, and you count 46 words down, you find the word shake. And you go up to the word shalah. After shalah, you count 46 words up, you find the word spirit.
And the numbers is significant.
Oh, it's very significant.
46 down to 40 what?
46 up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And see, it's very significant because how many chromosomes do it take for you to produce a physical being on this planet?
46.
23 from the female, 23 from the male, combined 46. So supposedly he was 46 years old when he finished editing the Bible.
Right.
Okay. Now remember, they started in 1604. He didn't finish the editing process until 1611. They gave it to him in 1609. So it took him approximately 2 years to re-edit it. So supposedly he slipped himself up in there through the 46 verse. I mean through the 46 Psalms. So supposedly he was 46 at the time when he did it. He was the 46th man on the William Shakespearean Council. All right. And also, supposedly, once again, his name is embedded within there. As well as also, if you read those 3 verses, you find out that the word will comes up 3 times. So will represents not just free will, but also represents his first name, Will, I am, William, as well as also the fact that it represents mind, body, and spirit, the 3 different states. So this is the ideology in which that he put within that particular song. So, as you know, Francis Bacon was a Rosicrucian. You know, we're dealing with the Masons and we're dealing with the Rosicrucians, and you come to find out that this is the tie. You know what I'm saying? That also, Francis Bacon also had to have been a high member of the Masonic order. He was the one who branched out to form, supposedly, the now Moderate Day, supposedly he was the founder of the Moderate Day Rosicrucian order, in which they claim lineage to Thutmose and to Akhenaten, who is known as Amenhotep IV. So they claim, supposedly, from Thutmose III to Akhenaten, you know what I'm saying, or Amenhotep IV, that this is where they got their information from. Now, of course, this is bullshit in a sense, because actually, as far as they can go back, as far as tracing their information of Freemasonry, is actually to the Ptolemy family. Now, we had 2 devils that attempted to get into the ancient mystery schools, and the ancient high priest flagged them out, flagged them away. You know what I'm saying? You can't come in because you're a barbarian. You're a savage. That was Philip of Macedonia, who was the father of who? Alexander the Fake. Now, Alexander the Fake had a brother who was called Ptolemy. All right? Ptolemy the First. Ptolemy the First began the so-called rivalry amongst the so-called ancient Coptic Christians. And as you know, Christianity, and not in the system that we now know Christianity, best believe that shit, existed 300 years before the Roman Catholic Church got their hands upon it. So this ancient Coptic Christianity or ancient Catholic Church was actually the ancient mystery school information of ancient Kemet. Okay? And it was stored also in Ethiopia. Ethiopia and Kemet was one and the same. You had Upper Egypt and you had Lower Egypt. The Upper Egypt was actually Ethiopia. All right? Because as you know, the Nile flows what? The Nile flowed without.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that was actually, you know, it was like that. Because the Nile Valley flows in the opposite directions of the majority of the rivers on the planet. And it was designed that way. As a matter of fact, the ancient Kemites, who was actually called the Ta, it's called the Ta Nessi. The Ta Nessi people, as they was called before they became known as the Kemites, in that sense, were the ones who dug the trenches of the river, you know, changing the course of this river into the way in which they wanted to in order to replicate the river to the Milky Way constellation. This is why you have the 3 pyramids on the Giza Plateau, which actually is symbolic to the 3 stars in the Orion Belt. All right? And as you see right here, these 3 symbols is actually symbolic to that also.
Now, when you say the first one is called what?
Which one?
The columns.
Oh, Jasin or
Okay.
Jashin.
Right.
This is you as being the initiate, your middle pillar, which is the digit, which is the spinal column. And this is Boaz.
Okay. Now, what? Okay, Boaz
Right.
and the other
Now
one.
both of these supposedly were ancestors supposedly of David.
Okay. Because what I wanted to do, I wanted to get the definition of those names. What do they really mean, and who are they associated with?
Okay. Okay. Let me hold this up. All right. JA, as you know, is another acronym, or I should say not an acronym, but another name for God.
Right.
All right. Sheen is also means energy, or heavenly energy. So actually, Jashin means heavenly energy of God, the heavenly energy of God, or the heavenly spirit of God. Because energy and spirit in the ancient text was basically simultaneous in the terminology that we call energy now, it was spirit then. All right? Boaz. Boaz. Bo means father. Az means strength. So actually, Boaz means the strength of the father. Okay? The strength of the father. This is also called within the Kabbalist text, this pillar here, within the Kabbalah text, is called the middle pillar. This is called the middle pillar. All right? The middle pillar. Now that's deep. Because this is shown right here. This is shown also as Boaz, Jasin, and then the one coming up the middle is the middle pillar. This is what's called the tree of life. This is what is called the tree of life. Now, as you see here, is the spirit of Thor. The spirit of Thor, when it breaks down to, is the same word as death. This is the death gate, or the Stargate. Within the Star Wars, it's called the Death Star. It is also short for dark Vater. This is where the invaders come from. In other words, when you bring down the heavenly energy from out of the cosmos, you channel it down from at the top of your head through your pineal gland, in which that gives access as a step-down transformer the energy to the rest of the endocrine gland system. So therefore, you channel energy in order to keep you alive here upon planet Earth until your time is, to expire for you to go to the next time of existence.
So is that a representation of the human body?
This is all this is.
Okay.
This is a representation of the human body. The tree of life is actually your physical body. The little pillar is nothing more than your spinal column, as we had up on the board earlier. This here is nothing more than the chakras, in which that is in the back and in the front. So actually, this is a side view of your whole mechanism. All right? And check this out. It says the physical body of man. The biological organism is based on the universal law. Therefore, it can be expressed in the terms of the separate tree. The Kabbalist model of all complete things, great or small. Here, the various levels of operations are set out in the triad and the separate to illustrate the microcosm of the body. So it tells you right here that this is definitely nothing more than attributes of the physical body. The Jews know this, especially these Hasidic Jews, the ones that run around here with all this black and this goddamn Heru lock, this Horus lock that they have right here. As you notice, the Jews run around with their little lock just like this, same exact, lock. This is where they got this shit from. In other words, stolen once again from our ancient Kemetic information and put within the realms of a Kabbalist, or put within the realms of the so-called Mason and Rosicrucian. You know what I'm saying? All these goddamn ill-forsaken names and Johnny-come-latelys organizations. All right, let's go through some more of these pictures here. So you see here, this is beautiful. This is one of the Shriners joints. The Shriners is also part of this so-called mechanism of these so-called secret societies. The Shriners, as you know, was first started in 1875. Supposedly, Master Farah Muhammad was born in 1875. Come to find out that Noble Drew Ali was actually born in 1875. So 1875 was a very good year for the birth of information. And as we see here, what is this face here that we have? What is this face? This is beautiful. What is this face that we have here, though? This is this face in which that we have right here.
Break it down.
So this is nothing more than another picture of Ma'at, the black goddess.
And you can see the crescent symbol in, in that right there. You see the crescent symbol in that joint there?
And the one, the Masonic symbol, I got that out of a book called The Masonic Architecture of D.C. It's a hard book to get, but I would recommend that anybody get that book.
Right here. Hold it up again.
Yeah.
Right here. This is what I'm talking about. You see the star and the crescent.
Right.
And the star right in between.
Oh, I'm getting ready to break that down right now. You know what I'm saying? Now check this out. Let's count.
Turn it sideways.
Yeah.
You have to turn it
sideways. Turn it sideways.
You see the
turn the picture
star and crescent.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go. There you go. Star and the crescent right there.
Right. Of course. All right, let's go through the breakdown.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15. Why, hold on, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Why 15? Why 15? Well, the number 15 keep coming up over and over and over again within certain secret societies' orders. Like, for example, it comes up in 1832 with the skull and bones, in which that they only take 15 initiates. That's deep. It comes up again with the fact of supposedly, I heard that the Boule, in which that imitates, or what's called Sigma Pi Phi, which is the black sect, or the black, supposedly, fraternity sorority. You know what I'm saying? Or actually is the founding organization of the 8 Greek fraternities and sororities. You have the AKAs, the Deltas. Now, of course, the AKAs was first. You know, they pride themselves on that shit. The Deltas, in which that was this which was actually AKAs, in which that broke the fuck off. You know, in which they became the Deltas. And then you have there we go. Then you have the Zetas, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And then you have what's called Sigma Rho. Sigma Rho. All right? Or what we call the Sigma Gamma Rho. Matter of fact, this is a picture of this Sigma Gamma Rho. And this is this is obviously the founding chapter. 1924. This is the founding chapter.
Who knows the cave woman?
No, these supposed to be black goddesses.
Yes.
Like the one that's
all
of these are black. All of these are black sisters.
That's the, those are the girlfriends and wives of the Boule.
Right. But it's funny.
Okay.
It's funny. They don't look nothing like this.
Right?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Man. You know, and then you got the 4 male organizations or fraternities, in which is of course the Alphas. You know, the Alphas, you know, they pride themselves on being established, you know, around, I think it was 1909, no, 1906. Let me not get that shit wrong. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because you find out that it was around the time, around that same time period that the Sigmas was founded. Not the regular Sigmas, but the Sigma Pi Phi, who was called the Boule. And the New York chapter of the Boule, and the New York chapter of the Boule, guess who the head was?
Who that?
New York chapter?
New York chapter.
Of the Boule?
Since we're here in New York.
Hold up.
Let's
New
talk
York
about
chapter
the
of
New York
the Boule.
chapter of the Boule. Who was the founding father of it? W.E.B. Du Bois.
Okay.
I was going to say that too.
The man who called Marcus Garvey a monkey.
Right?
Yeah.
The man who called Marcus Garvey a black ape. The one who attempted to break up. Yeah.
It's documented.
To break, it's documented. I got this shit. To break up the UNIA, which is the United Negro Improvement Association, and he was the only one doing anything to improve the conditions of black people at that time, with a membership of nearly 3 million people. Now you can't even think and fathom a goddamn organization like that shit nowadays. Because niggas act like they can't get past the goddamn little damn differences. Shit, niggas, shit. If a nigga eat something wrong, shit, you got niggas attacking them. So we can't get past the little shit. That's alone the fact that this cat, you can't even. Every time I go back and study what the UNIA did, I just be like, I start to cry. Because I'm like, man, look at this shit. This was back in the damn, back in the 20s, in the teens and 20s. Around the same time that all these other organizations that I'm going through became founded.
Right.
Why? Why? Because W.E.B. Du Bois, as he founded the chapter, New York chapter, I think it was in 1903, right here in New York City. New York City? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right here. That you come to find out that him along with this other guy, his name is man, what is his name?
You got
Charles Wesley.
Yeah, and Alim,
Charles Wesley
right.
Charles Wesley was one of the major contributors. Well, he's a Mason, Boule, as well as also the founding father of the Alphas, 1906. got the alphas, right? Then you have the kappas. Then you have the sigmas. And then you have the omega psi phi, who is known as the dog.
Where's my dog at?
Well, my dog, you know what I'm saying? So you come to find out that these are the other 4 organizations, black organizations. So these are 8 black organizations plus that 1. So let's get into that right quick. So we got what is called the AKA, actually the Kappa, Alpha Kappa Alpha. You get from there, from the Alpha, you got the Deltas. You got the Deltas. Then you have the Zetas. The Zeta Sigmas. Then you have the Sigma Gamma Rho. Those are the female sororities. Now that's interesting that they chose the term sorority. That's how you spell it. Is that right? S-O-R-O-T-I-T-Y. Sorority.
You know what you got now.
Okay, but in ancient Kemet, you had a term for soror. And that was Sa-Ra. Now with the Bible, it becomes Sarah.
Right.
And who was Sarah? Sarah was the wife of Abraham. Now within the Hindu text, it flips, and the A for Abraham, or Abram, changed from a prefix to a suffix. So B-R-A-M-A becomes what we call Brahma.
But when you break down the word up there that says Sa,
Right.
Ra,
Right.
and you break that in half, what does the Sa represent? Sun?
Sa, no, Ra represents the sun. Sa represents the manifestation. Manifestation. So it's like you take the energy of the sun to manifest destiny. So it's not a bad thing. Because that's what you should do, is take the energy of the sun, cosmic energy, to manifest that what you need here on planet Earth. Because you need the invisible forces to help you channel through you the manifestation physically in which that you need to create. In other words, inventions, creative ideas, businesses. We need those types of things in order to help us, you know what I'm saying, to exist, to survive, to appreciate, to love. In other words, we have to have still some type of human environment in which that coincides with that. So you come to find out that Brahma's wife was Sarah Swati. So Abraham, or Abram, and Sarai, as she was once called. Now, within the Hebrew, Sarai or Sarah means princess. Princess. Within the Hebrew. It's broken down as within ancient Kemetic terms, a manifestation of the sun. Okay? So, you have Saraswati, who was the wife of Brahma. So, this all coincides with the fact where this term, sorority, which is a Greek term, actually derives from, or derived from, right? Then, to coincide, you had the alphas. Then you have the kappas. Then you have the sigmas. Then you have what? The omegas. Okay? Now you will notice, like for example, the color red is worn by deltas and kappas. The color blue is worn by the zetas and sigmas. Alright? These two organizations in particular have the same colors. The alphas wear black and gold, which is symbolic, and if you know, they call themselves the Sphinx men. So they don't call themselves Hiram Marku or who. They call themselves the Sphinx men. Once again, the Greek terminology.
So, brother, the so-called gangsters didn't invent the color thing then.
No.
You wearing my color.
No, they ain't invented. No, this is some old bullshit from back in the day. This is these organizations. This is supposed to be the talented 10.
Right.
Check this out. Now, who said at the helm of these fraternities and sororities was what we call the boule. The word boule is French. Now, I don't know how something get from Greek to French, but shit, let's go with it. But the term boule means the advisors of the kings.
Right.
The advisors. Now, who the fuck are these kings?
Rockefeller.
Bingo, the Rockefellers. Matter of fact, let's go through them because it's not just one family.
Right, that's true.
It's 13 families.
But the Bush family
And
is
they're
in
called,
there somewhere.
oh, the Bush, I'm getting ready to get into that shit.
Right.
The Bush family. Now let's go to their real name. They call themselves the Sigma Pi Phi.
Sigma Pi Phi.
The Sigma Pi Phi. All right? So, if you notice, two other organizations have the title Sigma up in there also. Come to find out that the Sigma is the 18th letter. We go to this number 18. The Sigma is the 18th letter of the Greek alphabet. Interesting. Interesting, because 1 plus 8 is what? 9. The Rosicrucians have a 9-step order in which that you have to process to become in a, from the initiate into from an entry or into the depth stage, into the mastery stage, or the elite stage. They have a 9-step process, which is based off of the ancient Kemetic teachings. That's why you have 33 degrees of Freemasonry, because 3 times 3 gives you the number 9. So that's the size of 33. So everything comes up to the fact that the number 9, and 9 being quote unquote also a symbol of the sun, because supposedly the sun equivalent energy is 9 to the 9th power of 9. That's a lot of goddamn 9s.
Right.
So that is supposedly the equivalent energy. So, you know, this is the Boule version. So the Boules, once again, was founded around the early 1900s. One of the head organizers was W.E. Du Bois himself, who promoted the program called the Talented 10. Talented 10. This Talented 10 program was actually still going on and is conducted within our educational systems today. Well, not ours. Shit. And in the European white supremacist miseducational system today, let me put that shit more clearly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have what's called the Inroads program. The Inroads program, the Inroads program follows those who have a nice GPA average, which is approximately around a 3.2 to a 3.7. They rarely take in people who has 4.0s. You know, that's a little bit too nerdy-ish, I guess, for them. But when they bring people in, they make sure that they are obedient. So this is like the beginning process stage of a black person or a melanated person coming into college. You know, you all wide-eyed. You know what I'm saying? And you're all happy about being in college, and you're trying to do your best and make them nice GPAs. You know what I'm saying? You give them A's, and then you know once in a while maybe a B. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of person that they would try to bring into the fold. So what they begin to do, and of course the teacher, you know what I'm saying, is the one who's the scouter. the agent. You know what I'm saying? Good GPA, you know what I'm saying? Then the deans do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You might as well, that's like a cahoots agency right there. And they get the players. These players have to be obedient. They have to be obedient. And they're not obedient, then if they happen to be one of the ones who go against the grain, if they speak out in class, you know, in disagreement with what the teacher is saying, then that ends basically their possibilities of becoming initiated to later on the Boule. So what happens is that this enrolled scholar, or this new scholar on the scene, potential scholar, you know, becomes part of the enrolls program. They need him or her to join one of these organizations. When they join one of these organizations, that puts them in a 6-week period of getting their ass beat, usually what is called hazing. Supposedly, you know, they don't do that in graduate chapters, so. but in these undergrad chapters, they'll whoop your ass. You know what I'm saying? My roommate had so many motherfucking marks on his ass. They damn beat this motherfucker with a goddamn John Henry paddle. This motherfucking paddle was about this damn thick. I mean, not this thick, but this, you know, broad, wide, lengthwise, and about this goddamn thick. And they took that shit and welded his monkey ass out. And this motherfucker, he was joining the Omegas. This nigga came in on crutches.
They got to go through that shit?
Hell yeah, this motherfucker came in on crutches, man. Crutches. Nigga showed me his ass. Man, that motherfucker was damn black, blue, red, orange, yellow. This motherfucker had a whole fucking rainbow coalition on his ass.
Now I'm glad you brought that up, because what about the branding?
The branding is nothing more than, as you know, part of slavery.
Right.
It's the same shit when we got massa.
Yeah.
Oh no, massa, don't brand me. You know what I'm saying? Niggas, you was once saying don't brand me. Now, go ahead now, massa, brand me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Make sure I know that I'm part of this shit. So basically, you know, that's that part of that mentality. You know, of course, they might try to refute that shit, but I done seen these motherfuckers go in and out of these organizations, and their mentality changes. You know what I'm saying? They think they become better than everyone else, because they have now become hopefully part of this talented temple program. Right. With one thing, you know, within the 5%, it tells you who this 10th is. There's 85% who's deaf, dumb, and blind, the 5% who's the poor righteous teachers, and the 10% who's the bloodsuckers of the poor.
Right.
So that's the only program that they graduated to. Is becoming a fucking damn puppet and a damn bloodsucker of the poor.
Foul and Congolese fits right into that scenario.
Well, see, we haven't had proof. We have not got proof yet on Colin Powell. Now we do know for sure that Colin Powell is a distant cousin of George Bush. Matter of fact, not distant, excuse me, the second cousin of George Bush.
Did you ever hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
I heard that before too.
He's the second cousin of George Bush. You know what I'm saying? I read even reports where they said that he's the first cousin. I can't go that goddamn far. You know what I'm saying? But I have information in which that he is the second cousin of George Bush. Now, that alone can get you
right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the Bush family is part of the Merovingian family, which is the English family of the English side of the family. In other words, Prince Charles, Queen Elizabeth, Queen Victoria, all that motherfucking lineage right there from out of England.
They laid to the front, to the black community. We didn't even know about a boule. We didn't know about the Trilateral Commission, the Council for Relations.
Let me speak on this, because I got to help put that in
Dr. Vince said there's no such thing as a boule.
That's exactly what he said.
Now, we heard that, right?
Now I don't know why he's lying.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I can go to the motherfucking website right now.
Me too.
www.boule.com.
Right.
That's right.
You go right there to the motherfucker right now. For all you out there, I suggest that you do so.
Right. So I want to give credit to Brother Steve Coakley for bringing that
We
information.
give credit to Brother Steve Coakley, but we also got to give credit to Brother Javon Buckley of Ghetto Times Magazine. he helped put Steve on to the Boule because he was once an Alpha Phi Alpha himself. I had a lecture with Brother Javon Buckner yesterday, and
Oh, you did? Yesterday?
Yeah, I met him yesterday. Right. And he went into the fact that how he was once part of the Alpha Phi Alpha. And he was one of the ones in which that brought out the Boule information first.
I tell you the truth.
Then you have my man Marcus Klein from out of Frontline Magazine, who've been putting out the Boule series. So those three brothers in conjunction with doing this Boule thing is what helped us get this information on these goddamn dirty ass black devils.
Yeah, right? One point, I would say though, I heard Steve Coakley in 1992.
Yeah, he called Javon Buckner 8.
But what happened, I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about the young brother. I think he did get the information from Steve. And then he took it, put it on the website. He researched it and stuff like that. But to my knowledge, I might be wrong, but I've never heard anybody speak about skull and bones, the Boule, until Steve Coakley came on the scene. Okay, yeah. Not to say that the brother's not doing good information.
Only thing I'm saying is that, these are joint efforts.
That's true.
Not saying that, Steve was the one who got the information out first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Javon, has to be given his due to the fact that he helped in the process of even establishing it more so, you know what I'm saying, as far as getting information out through the Ghetto Times too. You know what I'm saying? Because Steve don't write. You know what I'm saying? So, you can hear the audience in which that is targeted through the writing aspect, not just from the video.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That, there's a grouping. You know what I'm saying? And then also through Frontline Magazine, through my man Marcus Klein.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That they're the ones in which have been keeping us abreast of the Boule information.
Right.
So it's not just one, I'm just saying it's all of them, you know what I'm saying? And I love them all. So therefore,
yeah, I'm gonna give him a black hand on that.
Now this end goal, we're going to find out, is that, once again, this is just the preliminary stages for them graduating into the Boule. So you have to be obedient. If you're not obedient, you won't be able to get in. All right? So, I don't even know why I erased it, because I still got something else to go on right quick. Check this out. You have the alphas, who supposedly was founded first, the AKAs, what they call the Kappas, the Deltas, the Sigmas, the Rho, the Zetas. The Omegas, the Rho, the count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there's one more I'm missing. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Okay, got all 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you have founding Sigma Pi Phi, or what's called the Boule. Alright? Which they all started from. You'll find that they call themselves the Nine Council, or the Nine Hellenistic Council. Or the Hellenistic Council of Nine. Now, where did they get this shit from? Oh, very easy. They got this from out of ancient Kemet, as usual. You come to find out that Sigma Pi Phi actually is symbolic to Atum. These here are symbolic to who we call Shu, Air, Tef Newt, Ged, Newt, Set, and Nepet. And isn't that something? Because you find out that Atum was created, he was the self-created one. Just like they say about Allah. But Atum breaks down to the word atom. A-D-A-M. Atom is made from black mud. Just like Atum emerged from out of the primordial mud or the primordial waters, which becomes called Nu. Nu. So that means there's someone in which that sits above the signals. Power 5. So that means they are the wisest of the kings. That means the king sits above them. Alright? So the kings, which we're going to get into right now, are the ones in which that have themselves set up as Nu. Okay? Nu is also pronounced Noon, which you get the word none from. Later on, or better yet, this word here, this type of none, as in the term of nothingness, in which that you find that Ein Sof, Ein Sof, is nothing more than a representation of the 3 stages of darkness. It's mentioned within the Holy Quran about these 3 stages of darkness. Alright? The 3 stages of darkness is mentioned in the Holy Quran. It's also mentioned within the student enrollment of the Nation of Islam and of the nations of gods and earth, so who formally call themselves the 5 sinners. So it speaks about the triple stage of darkness, or what I also call the triple state of blackness. All right, this is nothing more. Ein Sof is nothing more than the 3 trimester periods of life being developed in the dark waters of the womb. This dark water is nothing more than amniotic fluid, amniotic fluid. All right, this is similar to the dark water. This same dark water is what helped mold and shape the physical body into existence, which is the same exact waters out there in space, in which that help mold to shape the planets and the constellations, the suns, the moons, the asteroids, the comets. All right, it's the exact same primordial substance. So it represents the 3 trimester periods of the woman. The first 3 months, second 3 months, and the third 3 months. Comes up to, once again, to the number what? 9. All right, comes up again to the number 9. So this is what they're saying, is that now these black organizations have now given praise to the king, as if the king was the one who brought all things into existence. So what happens is that now we have a usurper, or better yet, a supplanter of our information, in which that he has set himself up to become the creator of all things in existence. When actually it was the black mother, or the black matter, or dark matter, in which that brought all things into existence. So he has changed it once again from a patriarchal society from a matriarchal society. Now these 8, which is similar to the 8 which that was just up here, is also nothing more than what brought your physical body into existence. We have the 8 divided cells of mitosis. The 8 divided cells of mitosis. These 8 divided cells produce you, the one physical body. Produce the one physical body. 8 plus 1, 9. So you find out that these 8 divided cells of mitosis, these same 8 cells never change. Even though all your other 76 trillion cells in your body changes every 7 years, through a 7-year process, these 8 divided cells, mitosis, never change. These same 8 divided cells stay the same as the day you were born, or conceived rather, the day or the time that you pass on and die. And these 8 divided cells is right here at the base of your spinal column, where the Kundalini energy arises up from. It is protected by a plexus of nerves called the sacral nerve.
They don't never degenerate?
Never degenerate. So this is where the immortality or the fountain of youth is found at. When this egg is split open, it produces the Kundalini energy out of its sleeping state into its awoken state. So therefore, giving you the ability to regenerate. The number 9 represents regeneration, because it's shaped in the same elliptic pattern as a galaxy. That's what the number 9 is symbolic to. It's shaped in the same exact as a galaxy. Energies, the cosmic energy of prana, chi, a key energy, all spirals in an elliptical pattern. The Kundalini energy raises up in an elliptical pattern. You know what I'm saying? All of these energies is what forms the physical body and brought it into existence. So this is what they're doing. They're playing with something which is very deep, and the majority of them don't have an idea or clue on what this shit means. Now, for those that want to get a clue, I suggest that you get this: Esoteric Masonry, or the Storehouse Unlocked.
Is that available?
Oh yeah. And it's written by Lotus. Of course, that's a pseudo name for your ass. By Lotus. But Esoteric Masonry, or the Storehouse Unlocked, Herbology book. Yeah, we gotta get into some of this in a second. All right. Now, who are the kings? Let's go back. Brother mentioned the Rockefellers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They like mentioning the Rocky, fellas, because they own every damn thing here in New York. You know what I'm saying? The Rockefellers. Now, we also got to mention the Astors.
Right.
The Bundys. The Collins. The DuPonts. The Lees. The Freemans. The Onassis.
The Gettys.
Right, well, the Gettys would be part of the, I would get to them. Yeah, let's put the Fords.
Right.
The Gettys. The Morgans. The Peabodys. The Vanderbilts. But we're going to keep these over here on this side. But these are the main 13 that I'm doing now. All right? The Reynolds. And I'm going to go through each of them. The Russells. Got the Rockefellers there. The Van Dyne. The Merovingian.
That name, Merovingian, was that in a movie?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I know I heard that name
1, 2,
somewhere.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Also, now what we call Disney. We throw Disney over here. All right. Let me see. Astor, Collins, and as well as what we call the Kennedys. Can't forget them. Now, let's go through each one.
I don't see bushes up there.
Oh, well, no, he's not there yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting to all of that. You want to make sure I remember that.
They're not in that category.
No, they're not in that category, but they are related to this category.
Okay.
And as well as all of these people here. Because remember, rich marry rich.
Right.
So they're all married. There's intermarriage within all of these organizations, all of these groups.
Okay.
There's approximately about 40 names estimated. You know what I'm saying? But these are the 13 ones in which that sits at the helm of what is called the Killuminati. And I named them the Killuminati because I say kill them all Nazis. Kill all motherfucking Nazis.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a little off-take from Potts,
Right.
Illuminati.
Right.
I said, no, they're not naughty. You know what I'm saying? Naughty means knowledge. You know what I'm saying? They Nazis. You know what I'm saying? Even though Nazis also means knowledge also. But, you know, in their terminology, you know what I'm saying, it's a German thing. So, you know, I stuck with that. So Killuminati. So what we call this is the Killuminati. Killuminati. This is them. Or what, you know, became known as the Illuminati. Of course, we got a very good picture of the founder who was backed by the Rothschilds, in which that I'm getting ready to put up on the board also.
How you pronounce that?
His name is Adam Weissman. Adam Weissman.
Mason.
Oh shit, yeah, definitely Mason. Guess what? It's very interesting because he started out to become a Catholic priest. In which that, you know, and you know, trying to become a Catholic priest, he went to school at what's called, he went to one of the schools in, I think it was in Germany. I think it was called Germany. He formed what is called the Bavarian Illuminati, in which that, you know, was nothing more than a takeoff of over 200 different organizations in which that was named Illuminati up to that time period. You had the Illuminati information which had spread it all throughout the world. You had the Illuminati information in Saudi Arabia. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the middle, what they call the Middle East. There was groups in which that named themselves Illuminati. You know, supposedly there was like over 200 groups, nearly 200 groups, at least. Yeah, supposedly it was around that many. You know, so he wasn't the first to come with these ideas, the so-called Illuminati. But what was interesting was that he figured out that in order to set up the Illuminati, go through the Masonic institutions in order to get the people from out of there. As they graduate from the, you know, from the lower degrees to the higher degrees, then you can snatch the higher ones and then start to initiate them into the Illuminati. So this is what Adam Weissman did. So he's given credit as being the so-called founder of the Illuminati. All right? Once again, he was funded by this group here, which is called the Rothschilds. Supposedly, M. Rothschild was the one who helped fund him. All right? I believe that was his name, M. Rothschild. He's the one who helped fund Adam Weiss's strategy for how to take over the Masonic Lodge at the top elite and initiate them into this order of the Illuminati.
You got the...
Now, I'm going to
Yeah.
all right? Adam Weissman was funded by M. Rothschild, and being funded, he was the one in which that helped institute at the highest levels of Freemasonry, being able to tap into the higher elite ones within those orders, such as the 32nd and 33rd degrees. All right, we'll get into them in a second and go through all of them also. So right here, you have the Rockefellers. The Rockefellers, you know, owned damn near all of New York. Matter of fact, some of the land which they owned was, matter of fact, if you want to know the truth of it, we think that they was part of the family in which that cheated the damn Iroquois natives from out of their goddamn land with damn $24 worth of beads. You know what I'm saying? They part of the same motherfucking damn family lineage. You know what I'm saying? Because you find out that they own the Rockefeller Plaza.
Right.
That they own, at one time, the UN.
Yeah, they donated the land.
Right. At one time, they owned where the World Trade Center buildings was laid at. Now, hold on. Now, this, once again, this is still in this area where these bones of these black folks are supposed to be found at, right? Okay. So now, this means that they claim that they were slavery bones, that this came from the slaves.
Right.
You know, don't sound too kosher to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because supposedly, you know, shit, you know, one of the first places in which that slavery stopped at was supposedly was here in New York. You know what I'm saying? You know, and just remember, that's why all the damn slaves was talking about, yo, let's go to the land of Canaan, the land of milk and honey. We're talking about up here north. And in particular, this northern region of New York, Canada, and all this area up in there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, really what we feel, you know, might be also to check into was that you talking about free blacks or Moors, in which that also, you know, had a burial ground, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, the Iroquois was said to have been of a dark skin hue, very dark, in the beginning, of course.
Right.
So, you know, of course, you know, for all them, you know, during Christmas time, a light up tree, you know, motherfuckers that like to go look at the tree, you know, the Rockefellers give that to them, but they can go do that. Astors, if you go to the supermarkets, you will find Astor products. A-S-T-O-R. Astor products is found within the grocery stores. They like messing with the herbs and spices. Matter of fact, we think that they have a connection with Monsanto. Monsanto is the ones who come up with this Terminator seed. You heard about this?
Yeah.
Terminator seed. This Terminator seed that after one crop of produce eliminates itself and grows no more.
Right.
All right. The asters are attempting to control what market? Food.
Food, right, okay.
So here goes Rockefellers with real estate.
Right.
Let's go to it. Real estate. Asters with crops, herbs, spices, the Bundys. Y'all remember the Bundys as in Ted Bundy?
Yeah.
Ted Bundy was this crazy mug who became a serial killer, if y'all remember. Ted Bundy, he was a serial killer. He was going around killing women. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay, what was his profession? Anybody remember?
Was he a nurse or something like that? Or? No?
Ted Bundy was a lawyer.
A lawyer.
If I'm not mistaken, he was a lawyer, he was a doctor, one of them two. Can't remember which one. But you're right, you said a nurse, but I think he was actually a doctor.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of which one though. But I knew it was something like a high profession.
Okay.
It was higher than a nurse. It was like a doctor, a lawyer profession. So, you know, I'm like, okay, you know, that's interesting because Jack the Ripper, you know what I'm saying, as he became known as, you know, come to find out is that that Jack the Ripper was part of the so-called royal court and was actually the head doctor for Queen Victoria. You know what I'm saying? According to reports now. You know what I'm saying? And was a Mason at that.
The brother, I was about to say, for some reason, brother came out. The cracker, Johnny Depp, played in a good movie dealing with Jack the Ripper.
Right.
And it was dealing with all kind of Masonic rituals and all that. That's a good movie to get.
Exactly. What's the name of it?
I forgot the name of that movie, but it was very good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it because I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of it. But, you know, so the Bundys was lawyer. Right? I think he was a lawyer.
Okay.
Because that's what I remember saying before. But the Bundys obviously was lawyer. The Collins family is the family that we all need to know about. This is the council of the 13 high druids. This is the ones in which that perform all the satanic rituals and ceremonies for the Killuminati. They're the ones in which that whenever you do any spiritual work, you need to be aiming at these motherfuckers. Joan Collins, witch. All these names with these collars at the end in Hollywood, you know what I'm saying, with your crackers, these are part of the Collins family, and these are the witches. And you know, Hollywood supposedly means what? The land of illusion.
Right.
If that's what it is, it's the land of illusion. So what does a witch or magician or anyone who works with this type of, they works with the illusions? Maya, Mary. Get it? Once again, Mary is part of the acronym for Masonry. So they learned how to manipulate the Maya or the illusion. This is why they have done so well thus far, because they've been able to manipulate the Maya. So you got with rites, rituals, as we would say, rites, rituals, same thing, or ceremonies. So then you have the DuPonts. We know who the DuPonts are. Shit. Do we got to go into, ain't that oil?
Yeah. Steel or oil? Steel?
Also steel.
Right.
Aluminum.
Right.
And they just got their hands in every motherfucking thing. All right. Then you have the leaves, which is also spelled this type of leaf. Now, don't let this just throw you off, because this is just like this man right here. The reason why he was murdered was Bruce Lee. Was because he's part of this family, and being part of this family, there was certain information which that was only privileged to their family, being part of the top 13 Illuminati families. They were the ones in which that owned Hong Kong at one time, was the Lee family. All right, you come to find out that they were also part of the dynasty in which that we established in China, the Shang Li dynasty. The Shang Li dynasty, you know what the word Li means within Chinese? It means black. So these black ass sellouts sold us out, you know what I'm saying, to the Europeans. If you look at the features on Bruce Lee, right, he just don't look oriental. He got a thick ass wide nose, right, thick lips. You know what I'm saying? He look like he, right, like he got some nigger blood out there. Let's just say that. Right. But the Lee family, they are also the ones in which they help with the triad. Have you ever heard of the Hong Kong triad, Chinese triad? As well as also those other mafia type of sects in China. All right? They sit at the helm of it. They're the ones in which they control Hong Kong now, since the Brits or the Britons have released its control supposedly over Hong Kong. Remember, they was giving Chinese was giving Hong Kong back about what, 3 years ago? Right. Okay. So you have the Chinese mafia connections.
Why do you think he was murdered?
He was murdered because of the fact that he was teaching black students. His first student was a black man. Right. He was teaching Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Right, that's right. He was teaching all of these black people about information which that he brought to them, or that they remembered as they became a lighter breed. They kept that information going through their bloodline, which is nothing wrong with that. But if you on a damn going, sex these damn crackers, you know what I'm saying, and keep the information, and then try to hide it from those in which that you was originally part of, you know what I'm saying, then there's a problem with that. You know? And then go into cahoots and join these motherfuckers. But anyway, then you got the Freemans. Supposedly, according to, you have an act which is called the Freeman Act, in which that helped establish the school systems or the educational system This educational system was founded up under the Persian information or educational system. Their education was one of obedience, of indoctrination, of brainwashing. And the Persians felt like in order to keep or to get a unified Europe, you must have to put the people up under some type of indoctrination so that they can become obedient in order so that you can follow through on what you need to do as the government. So the Freemasons deals with the school system. Then you have the Onassis. As you know, you had Jacqueline Kennedy who left, who after her husband Kennedy, J.F. Kennedy died, she wanted to go marry Onassis.
Right.
Onassis.
The Greek.
The Greek. Yeah. That's right, the Greek. Now, what do the Onassis do? What they deal with?
Oil.
Oil. Exactly. Then you have the Reynolds family.
Right.
The Reynolds family. Well, shit, you know the Reynolds family. They're the ones who have Reynolds wrap.
Right. Reynolds wrap.
So they deal with aluminum, textile. Then you have the Russell family. The Russell family. Now the Russell family is an interesting one because you have William Russell in 1832, who was a pi beta, what is it? Phi beta sigma. No, a phi beta kappa. A phi beta kappa is a academic honor organization. It was the first, basically the first founded. It's the first chapter of the Illuminati. It's Phi Beta Kappa. Phi Beta Kappas are those in which they have high GPAs. Now these Phi Beta Kappas, in which that William Russell was, what happened was is that he, when all the information started leaking out about this first chapter of the of this organization, he got frustrated and felt like the information should be kept even more secret. So he, in 1832, he formed what is called the Skull and Bones Society on Yale's campus. All right. So William Russell was part of that founding of the Skull and Bones. Now you come to find out that William Russell was also the founder of, was also the participator in what is called the Afghanistan Chinese drug trade. Or what's called the Golden, I think it's called the Golden Crest drug trade, in which that opium, heroin, was shipped and exported and imported by his ships. And the flag symbol that he used was a skull and bone symbol. It was very interesting that last year football game, Super Bowl, with 800 million viewers, watched the Raiders, which have a skull and bone symbol, and
the Patriots.
And I'm talking about last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, last year's.
Yeah.
You had,
Raiders, yeah, Raiders.
There we go. Right there.
Okay.
There we go. Raider symbol, as you see, the head, which similar to the skull, and then the two knives come down just like on a what?
Skull and bones.
Skull and bones. So it's interesting that last year you had the Super Bowl, 800 viewers with the skull and bone symbol of the Raiders playing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The term Raider and Buccaneer within your dictionary, Webster's dictionary, means pirates.
Right.
So the skull and bone symbol was actually that of pirates. So, shit, when we see Curry, you know what I'm saying, from John Forbes, oh shit, there go another name, Forbes. So when you see Forbes, John Forbes Curry, his wife, Hines, her last name is Hines. as in the catch-up.
Right.
We keep going through the list of those in which they have the money in which they control the world. So you find out is that John Forbes Curry was symbolic to the Oakland Raiders, while George Bush was symbolic to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And how we came up with that scenario is very simple, because who is the governor of the state of Florida?
Bush's brother.
Jeb Bush, his brother, the same motherfucker who helped him orchestrate and rigged the goddamn 2000 election,
Right.
who hid 10,000 ballots of black folks in basements and motherfucking attics and others in closets. For his brother can win this shit. You know what I'm saying? Jesse got ostracized by the Council of Foreign Nations and those members, even though he's part of it, he got ostracized by them. You know what I'm saying? Basically it was like, if you don't shut the fuck up, we'll kill you. Matter of fact, you take this little ordeal that we have for you with you and this female that you got knocked up and this illegitimate child of yours that you're trying to deny, here, you take that with you. You know what I'm saying? In other words, that was something in order to keep his damn mouth hush.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As they continue doing what they're doing. Now, I don't know how blatant that shit was. Hell, anybody with eyes would have been able to see this shit. So, we'll continue on. So the Russell family, you find out that you had another man by Charles Tesson Russell. Now, who is this man? He is the founder of the Jehovah's Witnesses, a Mason, but also the founder of the Jehovah's Witnesses. This is why they have pyramids in their cemeteries, because that is ancient Kemetic or what's called now ancient Freemasonry information.
Obelisk techniques too.
Or what's called Tekkens or obelisks.
Right.
Exactly. Tekkens are the ancient Kemetic term for obelisks, which is perhaps the Greek, not Greco-Roman terminology. So we have Russell's book, The Drug Trade, and the founding of religion.
Drugs and religion.
Man, ain't that a damn hell of a
Same
combination?
thing, huh?
Yeah, all of them get you a high. Matter of fact, damn, the person in which I remember saying this shit was Karl Marx. Religion is the opium of the masses.
That's true.
The opium of the masses. Oh shit, opium and religion. He used that shit in the same motherfucking sentence, didn't he? Ain't that a goddamn coincidence? But right here, the Van Dyne family. The Van Dyne family deals with, oh, you might know them by this term. You might have seen their trucks here in New York. Do you know them by that name? They deal with the clothing and the fashion industry. Clothing and fashion industry. And then we come to the Merovingian. Now, let me go down here first to the Kennedys. We'll come back to the Merovingian last. Of course, the Kennedys, Joseph Kennedy, you know how he made his money with the bootlegger,
right.
You know what I'm saying, before Prohibition, before 1922, before supposedly alcohol became legalized. He made his money importing and exporting moonshine.
Right.
So, we got what? Ted Kennedy is still on the fucking sword for him. Swords now, ain't he?
Some of that same booze his daddy made.
Same booze his daddy made. He done got his ass hooked on that bitch. He's a damn addicted addict and shit to it. So the Kennedys dealt with politics and damn booze.
Right.
All right? Liquor. All right, you have the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds are the highest or the largest conglomerates of the German banking system. They're the ones ones who runs the banking system in Germany. Right? Adolf Hitler, all of them had to go to them. Adam Weishaupt, as I said earlier, had to go to them. They're the ones who was just been orchestrating, trying to orchestrate the world, take over new world orders for quite some time now. Right? So they are bankers.
Where would the Oppenheimers be?
The Oppenheimers is part of the same, families as far as the Rothschilds.
Right, all right.
All right, the Oppenheimers, as you know, are
The
jewelers, and the De Beers, they are the jewelers.
Okay.
They're actually part of the Rose family. Cecil Rose,
Right.
Cecil Rose, the Oppenheimers, the De Beers, all of them was part of this whole system up under the Rothschilds. Anything dealing with money and finances is the Rothschilds. The Federal Reserve Bank is owned by the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, as well as some of these other families which I have listed here.
One more point is that the Cecil Rhodes, he has what they call the Rhodes Scholarship.
Oh!
And these Negroes get those scholarships on a regular basis.
Damn, you done, see, I was getting ready to say it. I can't say this shit now. All I can say now, you're right.
You can go deeper into it than me, brother.
No, I mean, you know, that's it. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
These Boulay members received the Rhodes Scholarship, not knowing that Cecil Rhodes killed over damn damn near 20 million damn Africans.
Right.
Or melanated people.
Right.
In order to successfully to successfully gain access to the gold and diamonds and minerals of Africa. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn, that's 20 that shit, that's damn 2 to 3 times as many as so-called Jewish Holocaust.
Right.
That Cecil Rhodes did on black people in Africa. So, you know, Cecil Rhodes was once again an agent of under the Rothschild family. So, as you notice, the Rothschilds are the ones who was funding and producing and putting out these family lineages, which that ends up marrying back into their fold. Now, here we go. Woo! Yeah, we got to go to this one.
Yeah.
Because their name specifically was mentioned in the second Matrix movie, which is Matrix Unloaded, and the third Matrix movie, which was, what's the name of that?
Well, they had Matrix and Matrix Reloaded. And Matrix Revolution was the third.
Right, Matrix Revolution, that's it. Matrix Unloaded and Matrix Revolution, they both mention this character called the Merovingian.
Right.
The Merovingian, if you remember, he was a French dude. He sat up there, you know, with his wife, you know, who also spoke French. However, he was speaking about this lady in which that he was seeing, and how he can cause her to have an orgasm in a rush, right? So what that was showing you is that the Merovingian deals with the lust. That's their prime, that's their whole prime essence. They deal with lust, greed, envy, jealousy, hatred. They deal with the animalistic nature of everything that's here on earth. Remember, he was a programmer in which that he was like, I love this shit. In other words, he was like, I love, you know what I'm saying, being able to be here, you know, manipulating and ruling and deceiving shit here on planet Earth. All right? The Merovingian family is the royal family in Europe, in which that comes from out of the French Connection. The French Connection actually comes from out of the lineage of the Ptolemy family. The Ptolemy family is the, let me go through this. Sure, I don't know where we put this information at now.
Do we got another board?
Oh, well, I'll just leave it up there.
Yeah, we got another board.
No, maybe I can squeeze it over here on this side right here.
Okay.
Go up there.
Well, you got that one right there, brother. You got another board.
Oh, okay, well.
Let's move the box.
Okay, right there.
Let me close that door real quick.
Yeah.
So you all right? Not too cold?
No.
All right.
All right. Remember I said, fill up. Of Macedonia. Son Alexander the Fake. Brother Ptolemy. Now I'm going to stop it right there as I continue on. I'm going to show you how all of this shit comes up over and over again. You have these 13 families and plus some more in which that were actually family members from out of the dynasty of the Ptolemy. Philip of Macedonius and Alexander the Great, they could not get into the ancient mystery school. It was too barbaric and savage. So therefore, the ancient high priest told them that they were not allowed to enter. However, Ptolemy the First bribed Sylvester the First, and made Sylvester the First Pope. And made Sylvester the First Pope of Clement. All right? He made him a pope. So Sylvester was a black man, but he was the first pope. Melanated. He was bribed by Ptolemy to allow him to get at least 3 degrees of initiation. You go through 3 degrees. Well, you come to find out that these same 3 degrees are the exact same 3 degrees of Freemasonry. As a matter of fact, here they are. Enter the apprentice, fellow craft, master mason. The rest of those degrees are honorary degrees. Once you become a master mason, actually, you need to go no higher. You choose not to. Because everything actually has been revealed to you. All that honorary shit is nothing more than information which that was accumulated and put together from information of the Moors that they ruled Europe for 800 years. It was leftover information. So you come to find out that Sylvester initiated him because Sylvester was an ancient Coptic priest.